Hello, and welcome to a Factorio A Link to the Past race. This is going to be a 2v2 match between Orsari, which is Berserker and Kono Tyran, which will be on the right side, and Future Elves, which is eudaimonistic and Megakidicarus, who goes by MKI, and I will likely use because it's shorter. And you can see that on screen. Kono and MKI will be playing A Link to the Past, while eudaimonistic and Berserker will be playing Factorio. Both runners will be picking up items that are either their own or items for the other player in the other world, and they will work together to complete both goals. You can see a little bit of the ALTPR items up top. We have the automatic tracker there for us. There's no such thing really on the Factorio side. However, as Factorio builds out into their sciences, you will see what they have. As a note, we do know that on the Factorio side, the highest science pack that will be required is the logistics science pack, which is also known as green science by a lot of players. So this means they will only need the red and the green science packs to finish out all of their researches, which will include their own items as well as items for A Link to the Past. Something to note there is that because it's only two, there isn't going to be a lot of types of items necessarily required, but they will need a lot of those two sciences. Also, just a reminder for those that have watched and for those that haven't, this is info, but the items required for the science packs are randomized, so it's not going to be exactly the same items. So it's possible that, like, rail signals, for example, is required for a science. I don't quite remember if it's possible for green science or not in the logic, but so it's not quite as easy as you would think in Factorio, where, oh, well, all you need is inserters and belts for green science and you're done. Logistic science is easy. Well, this could be harder. It could require steel. It could require a whole bunch of other things that they don't start with. They will also need to launch a rocket. And the rocket, just double checking. They will also need to launch a rocket to finish them. Just checking some settings here in the rules. The other thing that's kind of interesting is that Factorio, when they're playing, will not see what items they're researching. They will, when they load up, you will see that there is a darker and a lighter science, or not science, but research, and there will be an extra icon. Sorry, I have to pause in chat. That green's requiring uranium. So that's a good question, and I'm glad you brought it up. That is not possible. So each science pack has a difficulty level that is associated with it, so there are only certain things that can be in certain science packs. Now, if you race all the way to something like the completion of the game, you can definitely end up with uranium, and the good uranium at that, as part of, like, your utility science, and I've had it. This has happened to me. But these runners will not see that. It's to try to keep things to a relatively reasonable level. A Link to the Past got inverted, so isn't that a pleasant start? Not one of my favorite settings to have gotten this early as a runner, but we'll see how these runners are comfortable with it. Both of these runners have played a lot of Link to the Past, so I'm sure they can figure this out. Yeah, so a little bit of confirmation here. There are a few little bit of differences in the Link to the Past. They are a small mystery setting. There can be some dungeon shuffle. There's no full entrance shuffle, but the dungeons can be mixed up with each other. There is... the goal is a little bit randomized. You may need to defeat Aga Tower. You may not. It may be a fast cannon. Just get the crystals. Or it could be a defeat Ganon seed and clear Aga Tower or GT as well. Further, it is possible that this is a pedestal seed. They may not need the crystals at all. And then they may win by pulling the Master Sword pedestal, or they may actually need, after pulling the Master Sword pedestal, to go defeat Ganon. There are quite a few settings here. That could be randomized. So we're going to see how this goes. You can see A Link to the Past is starting their kind of standard Dark World inverted routes, and Factorio is just setting up some mining. Yeah. Kono looking for bombs in the Light World location. I'm personally not even 100% sure if there are bombs here. Not sure there are. So, a little bit of a different start there. Kono getting a little bit of a runaround. Meanwhile, our Factorio runners are just, once again, setting up with what they can. You can see eudaimonistic is starting power, definitely a very important thing to start with. MKI here, Megakidicarus, is continuing checks, gonna go, ooh, that is a nice find, and wow! What? Oh my! Oh, what? Okay. So, Hype Cave recently has not been very hype, but can anybody say that was not hype? What is that? Like, if you, a 10 out of 10 Hype Cave if you ever seen one. We got a sword, fire rod, bow, and Samaria. Like, that is the best Hype Cave I have seen ever in any race, in anything. Wow. What was that? 4 key, potentially required, and even if not required, amazing items to start with, and MKI takes a death. But wow! Kono needs to go there. Yeah, yeah, Kono needs to go get a bomb and go to Hype Cave, because that was super important. Wow. There was a question in chat earlier that I got distracted by the amazing Hype Cave. Yes, biters are turned on. In Factorio, they can get attacked by biters. Now, we don't actually have it in these settings. They don't race on these settings, but it is actually possible within this version of the Factorio kind of randomizer and multi-world that you can actually get attacks spawned by items that your teammates find that can attack your base. Again, the setting is not turned on for this particular race, but it is a very interesting setting. Okay, so Berserker right there, you just saw. Berserker's taking a look at the rocket. Taking a look at what will be required to make the rocket. It's always good in advance to plan for it, to have an idea of what items you actually need. Thank you for the comment. Iron ore plus yellow belts for red signs, which is nice. That's definitely a little bit more complicated than the vanilla, but not too much. I actually find the iron ore portion of it annoying, because you don't normally throw ore all the way over to your slabs, so it's a kind of an awkward thing where you have to rethink what you were going to do because you weren't planning on bringing ore all the way to your labs. I did miss it, but apparently we do have some boss or dungeon shuffle, so obviously MKI's pod is not the pod entrance. We also did just find out that small keys are shuffled, because that hint tile right there told us, I think, where an Ice Palace small key is, which definitely means that is not vanilla. Oh, we took a death over on Kono's side. I'm not quite sure if that was a death warp or not. And I appreciate everybody in chat telling me things that I haven't seen, because there are 4 screens and it's very difficult to watch all of them all at once. And since I am here solo, I will be keeping an eye on there if you all have questions or comments on the seed. Yeah. I don't. This entrance, was it a front dungeon for Pod? I don't know which entrance this actually came from. Oh, small keys are not shuffled. I could have sworn maybe it was a big key hint that I missed? Pod's at swamp. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't tell us anything about full verse simple shuffle. Quite yet. Oh, we found Skull Woods. Oh, this part of Skull Woods will always be Skull Woods. In these settings, it doesn't matter if you have dungeon shuffle. Only the back entrance of Skull Woods will be shuffled. Okay, so small keys are not. So what was the hint that I missed? Was it a big key? We're gonna find out. What else is going on here? Berserker doing a little bit of a map chat, probably checking on where the biters are. Udai, on the other hand, is over there. Getting some items out of the smelter. We took another death there on Kono's side, unfortunately. Man, this 3-heart setting is not pleasant. What are we going? What's going on here? I will comment that item pool is normal. This is not hard item pool or expert item pool. This is normal item pool. They just haven't gotten any hearts. The thing is that the early hearts might be sitting in the Factorio worlds, and remember that the Factorio worlds take a little bit of time to get going. We haven't seen much research go. You can see on Berserker's side there is a little bit of research going there. We already have assemblers. Getting a little bit going. You can see the initial setup of belts. Yeah, just so I guess to clarify what I said earlier, the Skullwoods front entrances are shuffled with each other, yes, but they're not shuffled with other dungeons. So that does not provide us any additional information on what type of dungeon shuffle our runners have today. And yes, to clarify, the Factorio runners can see whether or not the item they're researching is considered to be a progression item or not. Whether or not it is a key item. They cannot see what that item is. Now, hearts are not going to be classified as progression items because technically you don't need them to finish the game. That said, their teammates may be in their ear telling them, okay, please research some non-progression items because I want hearts. But on the other hand, the progression item could be something like hookshot, it could be another sword, it could be something really important that may help even more. So the runners are going to have to kind of decide on whether which gamble is worth the most to them. Researching those non-progression items may take away from other key items that our runners need. We got flippers. Okay. So that helps a little bit when we find swamp, if we need to do swamp. It'll help our runners if they don't want to do fake flipper glitch, but these both of these runners know that. So that's not a huge deal. Here's the thing. Here's the unfortunate part. Kono now is going to leave Skullwoods without checking the Skullwoods entrance because no fire rod. Whereas MKI, when he comes here, will have it. So there's a good question in chat that I didn't bring up yet. The stars that you're seeing on screen in A Link to the Past, those are non-ALTTPR items. So in this case, they're Factorio items. But using the software, there are a lot of different games that you can include. And any time that the item does not belong to A Link to the Past, you will have that show up. It's to tell our runners that the item is not theirs. As games are added, it becomes difficult to create an icon for every single thing, so there's just one icon for all non-ALTTPR games. Looks like MKI is back in the Village of Outcasts area. So here, what's at Thieves Town? We get Tower of Hera. That's still not helping. We're finding the front entrances of dungeons at the front entrances of dungeons for single entrance dungeons. This is starting to make me feel like this will be a dungeon simple, which means all of the multi-entrance dungeons will be mixed only with themselves. In dungeons full, those entrances can be absolutely anywhere, and for example, the 4 entrances of Hyrule Castle can all be different dungeons. What do we have? Yuda is setting up a smelter, I think, in a moment, which actually Berserker's doing right now as well. There's a coincidence. Kind of makes sense. The runners in the Factorio world will be doing a little bit of... Okay, Hammer's that logistics too. I'm going to stop what I was saying to comment on that. So, wow. That's a great hint. That is a very, very important item. Now, the thing is that the Factorio players are unable to just look for the words logistics 2 in their tech tree, so they're going to have to manually kind of look through and find the description. But that is a very, very important thing to find. I'm going to assume that was a hint tile on Mega's side. So that probably means Yudai will soon look for that in the tech tree. Oh, so we got Moldorm up here. That's kind of interesting. That's a good question. Our bosses... There is a chance of boss shuffle. So, here's the thing. The options are no boss shuffle or singularity boss shuffle. So, it is possible still that, well, A, we could just have all Moldorms. We could have a singularity with a boss that cannot be up in Moldorm Arena, and the second boss to fill those other locations is Moldorm. But we're not going to really know until we see another boss. So the next time we see a boss, somebody talk about the boss in A Link to the Past, please. Meanwhile, we're getting some extra checks. Kono is just checking things that Mega has already checked. And just a recap for anyone who's joined us a little later, or little ways in, this is a 2v2 multi-world match. One player is playing Factorio, the other is playing A Link to the Past. They share item pools and can send items to each other. Ooh, Steel Furnaces. Nice early upgrade. Steel Furnaces have double the crafting power of Stone Furnaces. So you can get a full belt of whatever product you're looking for half the amount of furnaces. That's always a really nice thing to get. Kono taking a death, but I think that's just going to be a death warp back to the front and a health refill, because I'm going to comment on this again. A Link to the Past is still on 3 hearts. So 3 hearts, A Link to the Past is not a fun thing. We did get the pendant from Tower of Hera. So just a reminder, there is a chance that pendants are required. I'm just double checking this. There is a 2 in 13 chance that pendants are required. It's non-zero for sure. Both Link to the Past players are actually in the same area of the world right now, which is really interesting considering they're different items. But for Kono, this is going to be a lot harder. That sword in Hype Cave. That sword in Hype Cave would be so nice, and Kono's going to be so unhappy finding that down the road. To answer the chat, no, we went over the items, the potential dungeons, completion requirements for Link to the Past earlier, but for anyone that has joined a little bit later, a reminder, the options are a slow Ganon of completing GT, a fast Ganon, get the crystals required, don't do GT, or pendants, pull the pedestal and win, or pull the pedestal and then go fight Ganon. Those are the only options we have today. The crystals option, or the fast Ganon option, is 10 out of the 13. So it is heavily weighted to needing crystals to finish. The other thing is that the number of crystals required for a crystal finish are randomized, and the amount that are required to get into GT and the amount to get into Ganon are different. To get into GT, the crystal requirement is weighted to be lower, and to finish the Ganon fight, the crystal requirement is weighted higher. So we shall see what happens. We found GT when I looked away for a second, so I'm curious where this entrance was. Oh, Skull 3. Thank you, chat. Skull Woods is GT. That's still not helpful. That's still a 1-entrance dungeon and a 1-entrance dungeon, but the fact that we have not found any of the 3-entrance dungeons yet is going to tell me that I believe this is Dungeon Simple. So, Hyrule Castle, Desert, and Turtle Rock will all be mixed with each other, and the other dungeons will all be mixed with each other. I think the chances of us having a full dungeon shuffle is extremely low at this point. You are getting some money-making attempt here on Kono's side. Okay, Mega walked right into that. That must have been on purpose. Probably just to get a health refill. So, let's quickly take a look at Factorio again here. Berserker is just adding up some more power. And eudaimonistic is looking to build out, I think, the science over here. Ah! Mega using the cape strat. So, a reminder for maybe our non-ALTTBR players, if you turn on your cape and you hold on to the wall, your magic doesn't run down. Notice Mega's magic isn't running. It should be. But because he's holding the wall, it's not. So this is a great way to finish this room without having too many problems, because you can just stand there. Especially with 3 hearts, that once again, our runners are still on 3 hearts. This is getting ridiculous. Our ALTTBR runners must not be happy with this scenario. Small keys are not particularly helpful. kind of interesting when you look at the Factorio worlds. Berserker is building to the northwest of the coal patch. Eudaimonistic is building to the south and kind of right on top of the coal patch. Slightly different ways of going about this. Mega gets picked up there a few seconds ago by the Wellmaster. So here it is. Oh, okay, so taking a quick look right now what's on screen on Factorio. That is... There are a few different types of arrangements we can get for Factorio researches. There's diamonds, there's pyramids, there's funnels. You know, it starts thin, goes big, starts big, goes to the small number, or what we see here, we have diamonds. Those are all various different types of setups that you can get for the researches. And for anyone that's not familiar, you do have to research anything above the research you want in the tree to get the one below it. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry. Oh, Kono gets cave. First of all, Kono gets the hype cave. Fine. Thank you. He's definitely kicking himself right now, not happy with that particular scenario. At this point, that's not a great thing to find. He's gonna be happy to have it, but that's not the items that he wants. Chat's just mentioning here that empty barrel and lamps for green signage. Is that actually correct? Like, if those are the items, that's really unfortunate. Lamp is annoying and is going to require green circuits at minimum. And empty barrels both requires getting fluid handling and a lot of steel. That is one of the most unfriendly green sciences I have seen in a while, if that is the case. Yeah, like, as I said, there are weights to how bad the items can be for each science. Those two are unfortunate. Okay, so they have fluid handling. That's great. But still, like that those barrels require a lot of steel, and steel itself requires a lot of ouch. Mega takes a death from the beetle. Those steel itself takes Mega saying, nope, just gonna get out of here. Can't do the left side. Didn't get the key, not gonna go all the way back through the right side for a small key at this point. That's not worth it. Forgot what I was saying now. But, oh yeah, so steel itself just takes a lot of iron. And then those barrels need a bunch of steel. So these runners, when they see that, they're gonna know they gotta add a lot of iron smelting. And then proceed to smelt that iron into steel. Looks like Yudai is out there looking for wood. Is that wood? Yeah, it's wood. Probably needs power poles. Oh, good comment from chat. Ice Armos is in logic with the items that we have. Yes, it is. The only thing... Ouch to the Gibdo. See, the thing here is that we don't actually know it's Ice Armos. Technically, we do not yet know if we're on a boss shuffle or not. It is... I'm going to say our runners are probably thinking it's not a boss shuffle. Just due to the fact that it is a 75% chance not to be boss shuffled, and Mega has already found Moldorm up in Tower of Hera. But it does not mean that it's not. Sometimes the game likes to trick us. To answer a question in chat, you are not allowed to import blueprints within the race setting. There is a setting to turn it on or off. If you would like to play casually and casual races, you can have that on and do it yourself. That's definitely not a problem. But in this tournament, it is off. Is it possible to make this seed more difficult for the ALT2PR runners? Maybe dungeons full instead of dungeon simple, and maybe a singularity boss shuffle that, you know, technically, we could still have like a Trinex singularity and just find out that Moldorm is the other option for the rooms that Trinex cannot be in. So we could find out this is still worse. We're going to kind of see how this goes. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was keys. There was a hint to a key, but to answer your question, chat, as to them hearing it was keys, I thought it was, but it seems to not be. I must have misread a hint tile. Oh, that's a good point. I never did mention that we are on normal time shuffle for Factorio. So, yes, any item takes between 50% and 200% of their original crafting time. So if you import blueprints, they can be okay, but remember now, so now the timing is off, so you can't quite use the exact same blueprint. Then the items for the sciences are different than they are in vanilla, so you can't quite use those blueprints. It makes this whole scenario a lot harder to properly use blueprints. That was kind of interesting on Kono's side. He paused. To me, it almost looked like he was trying to think of how to do a kern jump and then realized he had flippers. And just jumped in the water. We are getting a look at our pod entrance here on Mega side. Oh, yeah. Mega short rupees. Mega realizes he's short rupees. Doesn't have shovel to try to dig for it. Taking any hit will remove this monkey. Yeah, I didn't think the monkey could go in there, but I wasn't sure. A death for Kono here in the water. Oh! Kono got a heart! Berserker has researched a heart for Kono. Kono is at 4 hearts. Did I look away for a second and Mega got the hammer? Okay. That's lovely. So that's because Mega was able to go into Tower of Hera and read the hint tile. I don't know if... I know Kono was in there. I don't know if he was able to read the hint tile. To answer your question in chat, no. The portal at Castle Tower will only be open when you defeat Aga. Doesn't matter what dungeon's there. Oh no, has Kono been skipping hint tiles? I haven't been able to watch. That could be bad. So, just a note, and just to talk about blueprints a little bit again. You are not allowed to import external blueprints, but you are allowed to use your own in-game blueprints that you've created in this game. So you can see that Berserker has copied the initial smelter and has plopped it down 2 more times, just to make it a little bit easier to make the next smelter area. So that is still allowed. You just can't bring something pre-made into the race. Looks like Yudai is a little bit short on power. Fix that up. Meanwhile, Mega with a hammer and Kono with the 4 hearts. I think I'd rather be rather have the hammer, but I think both our runners would be happy with a little bit more in the hearts department. Oh look, we found out. Speaking of Aga Tower, why? Why are we doing Aga Tower? I think we have a glove. We have a hammer. Why are we in here at all? And I think Mega just figured that out. Okay. I thought maybe I was missing something. I thought I misread something. But no. that's not just me, okay. Ooh, a little bit of sync here. Look at our top runners. Well, whatever the reason. Oh, Kono trying to use arrows to get rid of that Murderdactyl. Definitely easier just to pick up the sign. Mega also not picking up the sign. So the easiest way to get rid of that one that comes at your face is to pick up that sign to the left. It will one-shot it. Neither runner took that route, but that's okay. We are doing a Death Mountain ascent here. Just a reminder, in Inverted, you get to do this in the Dark World. Mega on 1 heart. Mega on half a heart. Mega needs to make sure not to get hit by a boulder right outside this cave. Oh no, we're in Dark World. Yeah, we're in Inverted. No boulders. That said, we do have to go all the way to the top, get the Light World portal, come all the way down, and avoid the boulders on the way down. So the boulders are still a thing, it's just at a slightly different time. It's interesting that the old man does. Old man obviously has a moon pearl himself. And then I am over to Factorio. Ah, Kono got the hammer. Okay, this is great. Oh, but yeah, Mega was a bunny, so I wonder. That moon pearl, I think, came from Factorio. I wonder where it was in the research tree. Stone axe from Old Man? That's not a particularly helpful thing. Our runners will not be mining anything directly, and taking down buildings is not something you want to do in a speedrun. So, yeah, like when you look, it's a very different strategy here between Berserker and eudaimonistic. If you take a look, Berserker has made sure to keep everything just a little bit off the patches. The smelter is just beside the coal, so it's easy access, but not on top. And then built north to avoid being on top of the patches. Eudaimonistic has completely ignored that and is built directly on top of every single patch. Did I miss a death on the Went to the past side. Oops. But it seems it was intentional, so that's okay. Berserker setting up a little electronic circuit making factory. Looks like the ratios are relatively vanilla because that is a vanilla recipe or vanilla setup. So let's see what's here up here at GT. Ah, swamp. Oh, swamp. Okay. Gonna need to get to the dam to get into that dungeon correctly. Interesting. So, yeah. So, there is a hint tile that is accessible there. I think I would have checked the hint tile. Oh no. Oh no takes a death. I don't think there was enough hearts to complete that. Needed more hearts, the bottle, or half magic, one way or the other. Like any one of those could have allowed the completion of that cave, but not 4 hearts, no half magic, no bottle. Like and anything else might have helped. Yeah, hookshot being brought up in chat is another thing, would have saved a little bit of time. But the hookshot would not have been enough. So, our Factorio players are continuing to build out the factory. And our Link to the Past players are in the same part of the world again. Oh, map check. We have a red crystal at Eastern, crystal at Desert, and pendant at Tower of Hera. Pendant of Tower of Hera. Where have I seen that before? Just to be clear, because it's not on screen, Mega already has that pendant. Mega is going back to GT to do left side. Looks like the plan is likely to bomb jump. Bomb jumping around GT with 4 hearts total seems a little risky. Berserker is adding to the labs, just increasing that research speed, as mentioned. They need a lot of research. Yeah, okay. Mega takes a death there. I'm not, unless... I don't think he has a blue or red potion, because the potion was green. I don't think he can do that with 2 hearts anyways. Like, you need at least 2 bombs to get anywhere, just out of that first room. Which means there is 0 margin for error. You take any fall and you can't finish it. This is an interesting choice for some out-of-logic checks on Mega's side. And this is... Okay, this particular bomb jump isn't too bad. The next one... No, wait, this is the hard one? Yeah, this is the hard one. Yeah, it's Mega deciding not to continue with this. I think that's the right choice here. Not at 3 hearts. And yeah, it's been confirmed that that was the first jump is the hardest one, which is what I thought it was in the end. As to whether a cape will work with a bomb jump, no, because then you wouldn't take damage. Kono is getting a whole bunch of these light world checks out of the way, which is actually really good. Finding out what's here. Where are you going? Oh, look, the Moon Pearl. That's why Mega was in GT, because Mega wasn't able to really do anything in Light World. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try for some sort of Super Bunny with the sending of the items. Mega could have just gone to Light World and waited for Yudai to send a item. As to the fact he could have checked pod, maybe, but he's Mega's still short rupees for that. Is that 190? Oh, it's 190? Oh, then he had rupees. I don't know. I don't know if he ever got in. I don't think he got in. That looked more like 100 on my side, but it's 190. Ooh, race game. That's definitely an item to get. It's the problem on a ledge. You don't know what the item is. We get it. We find out it's something useless. I'm not... Was that an assembler upgrade for Berserker? That was an assembler upgrade. That was 100% worth it. That significantly increases the speed that items can be made. And it's also an extra free 50 assemblers. Gotta go fast, right? So, you can see Berserker making more and more of this iron, and as I mentioned, just even the fact that we need steel barrels just means you're going to need a lot of iron. That's a good question. Where did Kono get a book from? And actually, I missed the hook shot as well. Oh, that's where hookshot was from. Thanks, Mega. Okay. I'd like to know what the goal is for Factorio. Can somebody please go to the pyramids so we can discuss what the goal is? So chat, you've been great here, active. Let me know, what do you all think the goal is here? Are we gonna get a crystals goal? Is it slow Ganon, fast Ganon? Is it pendant? Are we gonna need to fight Ganon? And if it's crystals, which is the heavier weight, yeah, wow, that was a synced Burna get, but how many crystals are we thinking? Oh, we got 2 bets on slow Ganon. Are we thinking what, like 7 crystal required slow Ganon? That would be about par for the way the seed's been going for these ALTTPR runners. They're still on 4 hearts. We are almost 47 minutes into this seed. They still have 4 hearts. Oh, yeah, the rudeness of that. Of it being like 1 to 2 crystals to actually defeat Ganon, but 5 crystals slow Ganon to get into GT. That is a flute. Okay, so this is the other one. We are an inverted. So this is going to be a little bit different than what most people are familiar with seeing. That flute in this particular randomizer is activated in the Dark World in inverted. That is a little bit different than what you may have seen from other randomizers. Okay, so chat's going a little bit crazy with that. So in inverted, in pretty much every randomizer that I'm aware of, the flute is used in the Dark World because it is inverted, and that is normal. The difference is that the flute can actually is activated in the Dark World in this particular randomizer. This allows people in inverted. Oh, we got a ped seed. It is just a plain ped seed. Ganon is invulnerable. We will not be fighting Ganon. It is not Ganon ped. It is just ped. Race to the ped. Mega is probably so happy seeing that, knowing that he's already got a pendant. Now, can somebody tell me what the other 2 pendants are? Because I'm not sure what the other 2 were. They're in the Dark World. Because the other 2 Light Worlds are crystals for sure. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wait, what was the entrance to... We're just gonna check the... Oh, it's Turtle Rock. Wait! The front entrance of... Wait. The front entrance of... Oh, no, that's fine. No, it's not. I wonder how this is going to go. I wonder if it's going to be required to get in. Oh, Pod was... Okay. So yeah, we are on full dungeon shuffle. The game tricked us. I got a little bit confused there, because I would have sworn it was simple. And then we walked in the wrong entrance of Tower of Turtle Rock. Oh. Okay. Now here's the thing. It is pendants. They only need the 3 dungeons. But it is possible that the last dungeon is the GT entrance, which is actually at Castle Tower because we're an inverted, which could require something stupid like 7 crystals to get into. Actually, it's weighted to low crystals, so it may take, 2, 3, 4 crystals. But we shall see. I didn't see how many crystals we needed for the vanilla GT, which is at Castle Tower because we're inverted. Have to love inverted dungeon shuffle seeds. Oh, Kono actually has a 5th heart. Kono keeps the 1 heart lead. Oh, there it is. Oh, Skull Woods and Mire are our 2 pendants that we're going to need. That's helpful. So the runners are really hoping that one of those is not at the castle tower entrance, requiring crystals. We've been talking about A Link to the Past for a long time. I'm going to try to see what's going on in the Factorio worlds here. Berserker definitely has a much bigger smelter area built out. Udai is making this lab area grow. I think looking at this, Berserker has significantly more labs going, which is going to mean faster researches, which probably means more items for... Oh yes, definitely a lot more labs. Gonna mean more items for Kono, most likely. Looks like our Factorio players are pretty well automated in terms of their science production, so they're just going to probably be working on getting more labs out there, getting more researches. And then if the science packs ever slow down, they'll go and they'll make that path a little bit longer. "54 minutes in, Mega has 4 hearts. This is what happens sometimes with Factorio. Those hearts are all non-advancement items, so the game is telling you these items are unimportant, so you don't research them. And then your teammate's very unhappy with the situation. Well, Kono back with the sword. Going to take down Moldorm. Kono skipped the hint tile. Ooh, Kono unfortunately got knocked down. There's Moldorm down for Kono. That's 1 pendant each. Oh, we found the front of Turtle Rock over there. Always a nice thing to find. Mega decides not to go into there and do anything. As to a comment in chat, is the iron plate smelting time must be awful with how many smelters we're seeing. It definitely could be bad, especially with how many we're seeing, but the fact that we also need... we need belts for red science, and we need empty barrels for green science. That's a lot of iron. Bits of Pepsi, just rush dungeon entrances. I mean, yes, but the problem with that too is that you can kind of end up in a situation where your partner may be waiting on an item. Unless you know your teammates in go mode, that can be a little bit risky. If you walk past something that they need, you might be able to finish, but the average time wins. So if you leave something really behind for, say, a Factorio player that they need for their rocket, they may just be waiting and waiting and waiting until you're done. There's risk and reward there, for sure. The other thing is that we may find out down the road that you're going to need to complete, like, we may need a whole... it is possible for us to need a whole bunch of crystals to get to whatever the GT location is. We do not yet know what the entrance requirement is to that particular dungeon, and we do not know if it's one of the pendant dungeons. Yes. I believe just Mire and Skullwoods are the pendants. There's a conversation going in chat. Some of these are, I believe, incorrect. Okay. Not really sure what else to comment on right here. We're basically just looking for entrances in the Link to the Past side. Looking for the dungeons that we need. Factorio must not have all the items required for their rocket, because neither runner seems to be rushing rocket right now. So it looks like those runners are unable to finish, so they're trying to get more research in the meantime. I'm kind of wondering what that rocket makeup is. No, Berserker checked it almost right away, but I couldn't see what it was. Well, we're an hour in and Mega still has 4 hearts. Kono has 5. Hey, we're in Thieves Town. Hey, that's a piece of... Oh! Kono gets a 6th heart. Takes a 2-heart advantage. This is a ridiculous seed. We do have blue mail on Kono's side actually as well. I'm not quite sure when that came in, but that gives Kono a significant health advantage. At this point, I'm not even sure which entrances we have not checked. Unfortunately, I wasn't tracking them as we went. But I think we've checked most of the dungeon entrances, which is what's scaring me a little bit about the GT location. Because we have not found Mire or Skull yet. We're starting to run out of places it could be. The big thing is one of our runners needs to find a path up to the top of Castle Tower so we can find out at least how many crystals is required to get in there. Oh, Silo's down for Berserker. Okay, looks like that got researched. Oh, that was interesting. Berserker just lined up a whole bunch of non-progressive items to be researched. Probably attempting to get some health over there for Kono. Yeah, what have we got here? Red inserters. Maybe not. Anybody see what Berserker is trying to build here? Okay. Have we seen another boss yet? Repair kits. Okay. And red inserters. That's not horrible. Honestly, that's almost nicer than green science was. Our ALTDPR runners are still looking for something here. Okay, so this tells me a little bit from what's going on in chat. If what's being said here is correct, we need green wire, repair kits, and red inserters for the rocket. Berserker does not yet have green circuits because we don't have circuit network research. But Berserker is not researching any key items in his game. What that likely means is that it's somewhere in ALTTBR. He's probably hinted for it, he knows where it is, and cannot get it. Oh, it could be possible he doesn't have enough research for the first hint too, yes. I don't know if it's actually been hinted or he's working towards the hint. That's a good point. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So, in chat, it's been brought up that we should talk about the hint system for anyone that's unfamiliar. Yes, if you're unfamiliar to the software, every time you get a hint, or sorry, every time you check a location, you get what's called a hint point. Every time after you build up enough hint points, you're able to go into the the client that is connecting both games, and you're able to put in a hint that tells you exactly where a certain location is, or a certain item is. So it's not hinted to like, oh, it could be on a ledge, or it could be something like that. It will tell you flat out. If you put in hint circuit network, it will tell you the circuit network is in this exact chest, in this exact game, in this exact player's world. Now, I'm actually not 100% sure how many hit points they need in this particular mode, because I don't have that particular part of the settings open. So maybe one of our... Oh, we got a few other runners in here that might be able to tell us. But that's how that works. So in the event that Berserker has not checked enough locations, okay, then what is a strat that some runners will use is you will just research whatever you can, as many things as you can, as fast as possible to build up to that cost. So 20% is what I'm being told in chat, which is, I think, our standard. You need 20% of the checks of the game before you can get a single hint. So 1 in 5. That is a lot of checks. In A Link to the Past, that would be checking 44 chests. In Factorio, I'm not quite sure the exact number of researches, but it's quite a few. And oh, speaking of, Mega, activating the flute in the Dark World. So there's your Dark World flute activation. I think I missed it when Kono probably did it. Oh. Yeah, Berserker's definitely looking for something. Could just be those easiest hit points. And on the other hand, too, a lot of those are probably non-progressive items. 36 researches were being told in chat. You know, when you're actually playing this, it feels longer than that. But that's not that bad. Oh! Excuse me? When did Mega get like 5 hearts? We've been talking about Factorio and the hints and what's going on Kono Berserker's side, but either Mega found a whole bunch or Yudai sent a whole bunch. But wow, Mega on. Okay, Mega finally opening up Pod. I think it was here like a half hour ago without the rupees. Kono is where Mega's already been. Mega walked into Thieves Town and said, nope. Don't need this dungeon. This is a crystal. Okay, what's Kono looking at? Kono and Berserker are both not moving. Oh no. Wait, Light World? Is this a required AGA? This may be the runner's logical access to get to the top of Hyrule Castle. I've been trying to think of which entrances they have in check. They didn't do AGA. Because it's inverted, this will bring them to the top of Hyrule Castle in the Light World. Wow. Wow, this seat is rude. Oh yeah, we have circuits over on Berserker side. That pause that I was talking about earlier was almost definitely Berserker hinting for that circuit network to be able to know exactly which one to research. And to confirm for somebody in chat here, yes, an inverted mirror will take you from Light World to Dark World. But man, if this is the required path, this is rude on Mega side. Kono's kind of in the area. Is Kono doing this too? Has Kono figured it out? Okay, where's Kono going? Now, we don't know if this play by Mega is actually 100% required. I think there are a few things we haven't had a chance to check yet. And it's possible that something is just locked behind items that are still in Factorio. But this is definitely a play here. Oh, yeah. We could be doing the Mimic Cave into the back of TR check. On Kono's side, what if that's the required check? Because I don't think Mega's done that yet. Drop down to Mimic Cave, mirror into the back of the the vanilla back of, or not back, the vanilla Turtle Rock entrance. That'll take you into a multi-dungeon or multi-entrance dungeon that'll take you to Hyrule Castle. Yes, Mega doesn't have the mirror yet, so that would be why he hasn't done it. But wow, this is an interesting set of two checks. Which runner has the item and is making the correct play? They're both making very good plays with the knowledge and information that they both have. Question is, which one of these will work? Yudai's got a nice glowing screen, and Mega has defeated Aga. Oh, here, yeah, trying to go in, can't do that. 5 crystals. If that dungeon is required, we will have a 5 crystal. Oh no, that's not it. That's the back of Turtle Rock. Okay. Okay, Mega pausing. Oh, Yudai is working on Rocket, while Berserker's Rocket is complete. Berserker's Rocket is launching. And there it goes. Berserker zooms out, goes up to show the rocket launch off. That rocket blasts off. And yeah, Kono's, based on where Kono is, this could be bad. Is he going to get hit by the dead rock? Nope, found a safe spot. Just going to wait it out. Oh look, there's Mitz. You'd think that's important, but remember that this is inverted, and Mitz don't do all that much. Well, congratulations to Berserker for being the first player to be done, but just a reminder, this is about the team that finishes first. It is the average time between the two runners. Oh, we got an ice rod. Make for a pleasant. We have tempered sword, fire, and ice rod. Oh, that's a good point. There was 0 biter kills on Berserker's side. They were not in the way. MKI has left Hyrule Castle. I was kind of expecting him to check the other entrances. Not quite sure what's going on here. Oh, there's the mirror. Or Mega. Kono is still getting items. I think that's it. I think that is all the items. So, just to clarify what happened there, when a player finishes, every remaining item left in their seed is sent to the other player. So in this case, every single research Berserker had not completed has been sent to Kono at once. That can take a while. You can see what happened to Kono's health bar when this happened as well. Red mail, plenty of hearts. Kono probably feels safe now. Very happy with that health. We found Meyer. Okay, that's an important one. Speaking of dungeons, now that that's done. So now Kono will have a second pendant after this. Mega is probably heading to the exact same place. And then the big thing will be, where the heck is Skull Woods? I have this feeling that Agaplay might actually be required. I'm not sure where the other entrances to Hyrule Castle were. MKI getting the Master Sword. Very nice to get. Kono is in here as well. They're both... Well, Kono definitely just looking for the big key and plans to get out of here immediately, knowing that Berserker is done. So, At this point, there's really not too much to discuss. The only thing is, where is that Skull Woods entrance? And just a reminder for anyone joining us in late into this, we do have one finisher, but it is a 2v2 race. Berserker and Kono are one team, and Mega and Udai are the other teams, and it is whichever team finishes with a better average time. So it is not over yet, because if Udai and Mega just find the last... Udai finishes soon, he's almost there. Mega finds the last dungeon, finishes. It's going to be up to Kono to finish in time. What is the win condition in Factorio? The win condition in Factorio is rocket launch. The thing is that the amount of science packs that you require can be amended within the randomizer. So this does not require you to do what you would normally do, go through 6 different sciences to launch the rocket. We are set to needing only logistic science, which is green, which is the second science. So we did have one guess as to Meyer entrance being Skull Woods. Does anybody else? What are the other even locations? It can be the Vanilla Castle Tower, which is Agate Tower. It could be Meyer. I guess it could be the front of Turtle Rock. I don't think anyone's walked in the front yet. And Castle Tower, the GT entrance, and inverted. I think those are pretty much the only things. I don't think we've had anybody go out the ledge in Turtle Rock either, though. Or at least not that I've seen. Those two would have to be connected somehow. So Kono on the way to the boss. Mega not too far behind. Udai is, I'm going to assume, very close to finishing up this rocket. I don't think we've seen all the Hyrule Castle entrances, and I don't think we've seen the Turtle Rock Ledge yet either, though. So I think it's possible that one leads to the other, unless I've missed something. I think Yudai's probably... Nope, getting there. I was going to say it's probably really close, but not quite as far along as I thought. Looks like Yudai is just a little bit short on those long-handed inserters and is just making them by hand to supplement the assembler to finish up. Mega having a little bit of a problem, I think, with that. Ah, with the peg. Makes sense. So we'll remind any new viewers. Oop, Mega accidentally walks down. The stars, unfortunately, are not unfortunately. I read something else. Sorry. The stars are items for a A Link to the Past item. So in any game that is not a Link to the Past, if there's an item that has been put into an A Link to the Past world, in this case only the Factorio items, they will show up as those stars to let ALTDPR runners know it's not their item. And there is Yudai's finish. That is not a pleasant place to get swarmed with items, though. I'm not quite sure how Mega's going to deal with this particular situation. Oh, I must have missed something on Kono's side. Yeah, Kono is going up to do the Aga play. This is bold. Knowing that Meyer is a potential location still. So Mega's now in the freeze situation that Kono was in earlier. Just waiting for all of the items to actually come through. During the race, our runners are not allowed to use any sort of... If they're running on emulators, they are not allowed to use any emulator functions as per normal racing in most games. So... we're gonna have to wait. Obviously, runners on original card with the hardware, it's harder. So you can't do anything about it. So you just gotta wait this out. There it is. Mega's on his way to the boss. In the event that Aga is not required, Kono has given up all of that time back to Mega. If it is required, then this will work out great. So there's the crystal there on Mega's side. And as to someone in chat asking about the arrows, I don't know why Mega decided to use sword instead of arrows. Just felt like it. Might be more comfortable with that particular strat in the moment. Trying to think about where and what to do next. We are not seeing that Meyer check. What do our runners have against that? Both runners just deciding, nope. Although, on the other hand, that could very well just be because he's already in the area, wanted to check the Turtle Rock area first. To answer the question in chat, why are the Factorio runners standing around? It's because they're done. Here it is. What is TR? Does Bombos? Oh, well, that's not going to work. Yeah, both Factorio players are done. They're basically just waiting for their teammates to finish to find out which team wins. Here it is. It's that ether. Okay, here we go. What is it? Is it? Is it? Nope. Nope. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. And for those that are joining us this seed, you've missed the most hype cave, or most hype cave that I think any of us have seen in a very, very, very long time. We found a bow, a Samaria, a sword, something else important. It is a pet goal. It is not Ganon pet, so we do not need to defeat Ganon. Oh, it was Fire Rod. It was Cane, Sword, Fire Rod, and Bow in Hype Cave. But yeah. It is 5 crystals to get to the entrance that is GT, which very well at this point may have our Skull. I'm still wondering why I don't think our runners have checked the other Hyrule Castle entrances from inside Hyrule Castle. And I'm not sure why we haven't seen that, unless I've missed it. There's Skullwoods. It's at TR. We're okay. We do not have to complete the 5 crystals. That is Kono's Go mode. You know, come to think of it, it is possible that our runners also hinted for where this dungeon is. So a reminder to... We had this conversation earlier, but every time you collect an item, you get a hint point. Once you get 20% of your hit points, you can use it for a hint to find out where an item is. That can also allow you to look for a location in the game and tell you what that location is, and in the case of Dungeon Shuffle, it'll also tell you where it is. To think, oop! Kono unfortunately gets grabbed by the hand. What likely happened here is that both our runners hinted for where Skullwoods was, so they knew that it was at Turtle Rock, but we didn't. Unfortunately, with how close this is, Kono is going to have to die a lot of times before this time gap is brought up. Or do things like that. So the reason I say that, to answer a question in chat, is that Berserker finished significantly ahead of eudaimonistic. So for the left team to win, they're going to need Mega to finish ahead of Kono by the same amount of time. So as Mega finishes there, I'm just going to quick recap. We are about to finish this race, but for those that joined and wanted to maybe come by to see the next race, the next time this is, yes, it is a multi-world between two teams, and what happens is the items between both runners on the right and both runners on the left are shared and kind of mixed up into each other's world. So Factorio is able to research items for A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is able to find things that Factorio can use. They work together and complete both games. The team with the better average finish time wins. In this case, these games are in this tournament. We're only running these particular two. There are a whole bunch of other games that can be included in this. Kono has finished, and with Kono finishing first and Berserker finishing first in their respective games, that will give a win over to our right side team here. But get your GGs in chat for Kono and Berserker, and then get ready to get them in chat again for Mega and Udai, because they're about to finish as well. Get your GGs in chat again for Mega and Udai for their finish as well. And to confirm a question in chat, there is a chance of multiple different goals, including completing just the crystals with the open pit, doing GT to fight Ganon, doing just finishing Ped, or finishing Ped and then having to fight Ganon. Today it was a Ped seed. We got the 7.7% chance of it being a Ped seed. Now, I don't know if we can get everybody in here to talk about the seed. I'm going to see if I can figure that out in a moment. Um, So we will be joined by most of our runners here in a moment.
Hello.
Okay, welcome to Berserker, eudaimonistic, Kono, and I'm assuming Mega will join us in one moment.
Mega has a slightly weird audio setup, so that might take a moment, but yeah, soon.
Yep. GG's.
GG's.
GG.
So can we just start with the Link to the Past players quickly? How was that start?
It was pretty bad. It was real bad.
This is just the epitome of awful.
And I have not really practiced my inverted starts, so I was kind of floundering there for the first, 5 minutes.
I
remember Dark Tank was a thing.
I got to suffer too. I had to listen to a lot of complaints.
We were talking about it. I think we were at 45 minutes in, and Kono, I think you had 5 hearts and Mega had 4.
Oh yeah, it was so bad. It was I'm like, come.
So not only was it inverted, but you had no health in inverted.
Yeah.
You might be 3 for 3 on inverted at this point.
I was less than a 25% chance to roll inverted, but we keep getting it.
I was actually really tempted to, when I was up in Skullwoods, because I had the book, to go check Ped right then and there. Not Skullwoods, but Lost Woods, but Berserker talked me out of it. Would have known my goal a little bit sooner, but...
So about those dungeon locations as well.
Yeah. Did either of you hint for where Skullwoods was?
Yes. I hinted for both. I hinted for both Skullwoods location and Misermire location.
Oh, I checked all the entrances.
Oh, no, I hinted for them. Because I wasn't going to do that.
And I was like, oh god, early GT.
And then I saw... When I hinted for Turtle or the Skull Woods, I'm like, oh, it's Turtle Rock. Good thing I know where Bombos is. And then I immediately beelined it for Ice Palace. Well, the entrance.
I don't know if somebody checked it and I missed it and chat missed it, but we were worried that Skull Woods was at the the Castle Tower, the GT location behind the 5 crystals.
One of Hyrule Castle's entrance.
Okay, so I think I missed you checking that.
It was one of those processes of elimination things where I had 2 entrances Light World that I hadn't checked, and one of them was desert.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess I checked most of them.
I wasn't familiar with
because it had to be in the same world. I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way my thought process was, dungeon full. Oh, to the worlds is gonna have multi-entrance dungeon. Oh wait, that's not a thing in inverted. I killed Aga.
It took us a while to notice that it was full. You both kept checking dungeons that had their front at their front, like the single entrance dungeons, and it was all single entrance dungeons.
None of them were. I mean, it's full. Full was the only one it could have been. I'm pretty sure.
There's no chance of dungeons.
No, it had to be full. But the first, I think 3 dungeons we saw, all were single entrance dungeons at single entrance dungeons.
Well, yeah. I mean,
so it started wondering.
The YAML doesn't have an option for simple. It's just full, right?
Yes.
I thought I had.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have misread it. I thought there was simple.
Nope. So yeah, as soon as I saw the Tower of Hera at Thieves Town, I'm like, okay, full dungeon shuffle.
So I was talking completely incorrectly for a little bit there, but nobody let me know.
Yeah.
Guess we didn't have somebody in chat familiar with it. That's my bad. Kono, gotta ask, how was that hype cave?
Oh my god! That was the most hype cave I think I've ever seen.
So, and the reason I'm asking Kono is because Mega did it 5 minutes in, and Kono did it 15 minutes later. 20 minutes.
I didn't have any bombs. I couldn't get any bombs. I went to Village of Outcasts. I did all that. I'm like, I got down to Hype Cave after I was done with that, but I didn't get any bombs.
Just making sure this is inverted, right?
But yeah, that was a hype.
Very stressed, and then the hype cave came in.
Well, I mean, I think it was Samaria, Cape, Bow, Fire Rod, and a sword.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And then I promptly forgot that I got a sword because I was just so excited about all the other stuff. And it was quite a while until I was shooting popos with arrows. And I'm like, wait a second, I have a sword.
In other news, just now I see the very first biter appear.
Yeah, never had an attack.
Yep, in the middle of a forest. This is now the very. It's also a single biter. Like my first attack just now happened. I had a singular biter biting at my power supply. So that was a very peaceful Factorio scene.
So to ask the Factorio players a question, I guess, it seemed like you guys needed a lot of smelting. Like, was that just was iron slow, or was it just
Both
that you
of them
needed
were about 4
iron?
seconds?
Yeah, which I mean, that's not horrible, but it's not great at all. Like, you definitely want faster than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's slow. And it felt like if we saw correctly, you needed steel for the barrels as well.
Yeah,
You need steel for barrels for green science.
Yeah.
But red science was pretty easy. But again, everything we needed iron. Red science was literally just iron ore plus transport belt, and transport belt is iron gear plus iron, and iron gear is iron. So it's just red was pure iron, and then green was steel with a side of iron. It's lots and lots of iron smelting. How
And the
many
rocket
is
means just a ton of chips.
Yeah, so that's 20. I had over 80 iron smelters. Yeah.
That is a clear difference between our runs here. Because I was very iron starved at the end, and poor design kind of chokeholded my setup too. So it was like,
You didn't have as many iron smelters, then I'm guessing.
not only that, but I also kind of put myself in half belt situations where I didn't need to be.
Yeah,
And
I like to keep my belts pure until the very end.
it's a smart plan. It definitely works.
I think that looking at both of yours, I was talking about it for a little bit, that you built very differently. Berserker built out his smelters just to the west of the coal patch and then built out from there. And Yuda, you basically built right on top of your coal patch.
Yep, spaghetti. Dreams of spaghettification.
I considered building a bit more on top of it as well, because you don't need that much coal, and you do still need, you'd save belts if you just smelt it right there. So you do get a bit of a startup boost. I didn't consider it worth it for this particular case, though. I guess it paid off.
I mean, I would say that more than anything, though, the higher iron smelt. I mean, that was a significant difference in speed.
I saw pretty early that the recipe time is fairly high, and that I would have to expand my smelting array as the game goes on.
I think I just needed more arrays.
Just looking at our collection rates, 89. It's so low.
116 on
Yeah.
was basically to find a third hint. I can't remember what my second hint.
Oh yeah, there was a few times where I have to remember. Yes, there's a compass in Hera Cage. Pick it up. It's a hint point. Like,
Yeah.
it counts towards your hints. You need to pick them up.
So,
Also,
speaking
Yuda,
of
how many
hints,
science labs did you have?
I had 2, 4, about 60 or more.
Yeah, I'm at a bit over 80.
Yeah, I mean, I would have added more too. It got to a point where crafting them was right around when my rocket was, being researched. So it's like I was gonna get diminishing returns.
Oh, I handcrafted very few of them. I have that automated.
Makes sense. I mean, I just didn't set up the mall very well in this one because it was all spaghetti.
My mall is literally just transport belt and lab. So
Yeah, that's really all you need. I mean, inserters in some situations.
inserters, you just need to remember to keep handcrafting. It's usually enough.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I mean, it's very rare. Early on, you feel real starved for them, but once you get a few from the multi-world, you really have most of them that you need.
Yeah. Now that we have longer games in AP, I'm looking forward to maybe needing some of the more late game tech at some point. But for this format, you don't need much of a mall.
No, of course not. I'm certainly not automating roboports in this format.
Well, even if you were to just use the default weights, you likely have to run into outposting, and then it makes sense to automate. Actually, I did make automatic stone furnaces too. I forgot that. That's part of my mall. But yeah, in a longer game, you might need to do that as well as maybe automating smelters and inserters and such.
I did end up putting down a couple of miners for stone and kind of forgot about it once I had more things to build. Definitely scatterbrained on this one.
It's a lot. It was definitely a very scatterbrained type of seed all around. I feel like
There's
about-
always this level of pressure, certainly in the races.
especially on inverted when like let me out, let me into the dark world.
Lightworld.
Oh, yeah. So
In the
that
dark
was a
world.
really big difference because Mega, you got the hammer a lot earlier, but Kono got the Moon Pearl much earlier and then got the hammer. And actually got Light World Access first.
Wait, they got the hammer first? Because that was one thing
Um,
Berserker was like, oh, you probably got that way before them. When he
with the-
If
with
I'm
the-
not mistaken.
So here's the thing. Did you read all your hint tiles?
Are hints on?
Yes, of
With
course they
logistics
are,
too.
Coda. We've been through this before.
Look, I'm used to them not being on from
walked
other
right
modes.
past it.
Hammer was
You walked
logistics
right
too.
past the hint tile.
I look. I just got finished with League, so in there were no hints. There were no hint tiles. They weren't a thing.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to ask about earlier, because we noticed you passed a few, and even like you had walked into Swamp, I think, and walked out without checking it, you were looking for a bunch of items. But yeah, the
Yeah,
hammer
there's
was
one-
the hint tile in Tower of Hera.
Yeah. No, I didn't check any of them.
Also,
Well,
I
at least still got the hammer in time.
I want to say logistics 2 was like 100 or 150 like 30-second reds packs, I think. So I mean, that was expensive for the moment, but you know, I mean, it's huge to have. You obviously don't want to go 45 minutes without a hammer.
Especially in inverted where could really use a
Yeah.
good weapon.
At 4 hearts, green mail in inverted.
Yeah.
So another thing about the hammer that I ended up doing, like, oh, I have the hammer, I can access left side GT. Oh wait, I don't have hook shot, so I'm like, well, I guess I better try to bomb jump.
I forget where I got hookshot. It was somewhere.
Was it Paradox
Echo.
Cave?
Paradox? Yeah, it was Paradox. Yeah.
Yeah, but Mega was trying to do the left side bomb drop with 3 hearts, and that's tight.
Yeah.
yeah, then
Any
I'm like,
fail means you can't do it.
When I found GT, I was like, I don't really need to do anything in here. Check Hope Room and leave.
Which
Check-
turned out
I
to be
tried to
correct.
Yeah.
I also checked right side because I was thinking I didn't have anything else to do at that point.
But wait, GT was. Oh yeah. Well, see, here's the thing too: is I didn't check it until very late because I didn't do Hype Cave. I didn't get the Fire Rod when I was up there. I did all of Village of Outcasts and Skull Woods without the Fire Rod. Then I went down to Hype Cave afterwards. So I only went back once after I learned that it was Ped Seed, and I'm like, I don't need to do this at all.
Yeah, you also Kono, you also did Tower of Hera with bombs. That was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have that sword.
No, I didn't have the sword. I'm like, I'm using bombs here.
I think Mega had a much more pleasant time with it, with the sword.
I also had
Yeah.
Cape from Hype Cave, so I made that.
Anything else about the Factorio seed? We haven't had much talk about it, but it's hard for us. It's hard to see from this angle to ask questions.
Early time, I forgot to expand my power supply and ran into a bit of a slowdown there. Most other things went pretty well. Oh yeah, late game copper ran out suddenly, as it likes to do.
Yeah, I think
rocket kind of slowed down.
really just scaling up iron was my challenge. So I mean, power, iron, you know, it's always going to be one of the things. As I'm sure any true Factorio player will tell you, you know, the factory must grow. It's never enough, and there's always a way to kill a bottleneck. And so you're always going to see at least one from everybody who plays, regardless.
Yeah, and due to the random recipes, you can never come perfectly prepared. Something's gonna go a bit wonky.
Yeah, I found optics pretty late. Again.
Actually, for me, the green blocker was getting a single progressive processing to get steel.
Wow.
I had optics before then.
I think MKI got me mine pretty early.
Yeah,
I
that
did the
steel
dark
kit, we
rooms
actually
in pod.
commented on that. You got steel super early because you had the furnaces right away.
Yeah.
Oh, steel
Where
furnaces?
was-
You had those?
I think that was part of the dark rooms in pod. I did with.
Oh, I
Ah.
didn't even find pod.
That would have definitely made my late game copper and iron problems less of one, but you know.
Yeah, but you were so insistent on me checking the goal that even if I would have found pod, I probably wouldn't have done anything in it
Yeah.
because I knew it was a crystal.
I mean, in the meantime, I just doubled my iron smelting using stone furnaces, so that also works.
Right. I mean, you can always just build more, particularly if you're not getting attacked.
Yep.
You can getting attacked.
With the inverted seeds, I'm gonna with any of these mystery settings, I'm gonna assume it's a crystal goal until proven otherwise.
It's
Statistics
the
and all
highest
that.
chance by far.
Well,
But about the
it's 11 out of
chances-
13, right? It's 11 out of 13. So
Yeah.
crystal should be safe.
In general, a lot of these
Yeah.
fates meant let's have some small chance for like shop sanity, dungeons full, some interesting goals, inverted and such, and then we have a decent chance that at least one of them triggers for each race, so we have a little bit of a flavor. And somehow, almost all of them trigger every time.
What, like a showcase? That would never, ever happen. I would never be dashing into a weird spot in the west of the potion shop in the Dark World
Mhm.
for 30 minutes.
This seed was almost worse than the showcase seed. Almost.
You were allowed to play the game, so it gets that over it.
Yeah.
A bit.
But
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I mean,
this game still holds rank of the worst ruled variety of this format.
Any final thoughts here on the seed before we wrap up?
Looking forward to the race that we're doing in 45 minutes.
I wish you luck for that.
GG's. Well played.
It's our last one.
Ah. This was our first one.
On the future ones.
Anything else from anyone else?
Thank you for doing the
GG.
research.
Then I'm just going to say thank you to our runners for participating and being restreamed because it gave us something to, for me, something to talk about and everybody else something to watch. And I'm going to remind everyone if you liked this race, there are more of them coming up through SpeedGaming Live. There's still a number more games that need to be played, so keep an eye out. And on that note, please do follow SpeedGaming, this channel, SpeedGaming 3, and then SpeedGaming, the first one, and 2 through 6, to make sure you keep an eye out on it.
As pointed
And,
out, in a little under an hour. Next game in this format on Speed Gaming 2.
Yeah, so definitely if you like this or you caught the end of this and you thought it was really cool, we had a lot of people join right at the end. A lot of people said they really thought it was an interesting concept. You want to see what it's like from the starting, definitely go over to Speed Gaming 2 and take a look at that in 45 minutes.
If you want to participate in something like this, with people using a lot more crazy things, Archipelago is always welcoming new members.
Archipelago.gg.
Otherwise, I hope everybody had a good time here with us today. I've been Zethno, and hope to see you next time.
Bye, folks.